Good morning, you guys. Hold on just a second. Let me turn this banner off. Hi. How are you guys? It is Monday morning. Is your coffee strong enough? I have my coffee this morning. It is nice and hot. We're waiting for the feed to start, and I noticed while piddling around. Oh, hold on a minute. We got a feed, or at least a stream. I don't think the feed has started yet. Okay, let me just move things around here. Get over to the comments section. Good morning, Karen. Good morning, Mickey Joe. And good morning, the Grinch. The Grinch is in this morning. It looks like Grinch is going to be in the courtroom today, you guys. So, yes, that's exciting. Hopefully we get to see him and he'll wave at us. Wave at us, Grinch. You've had one cup so far? Mickey's sitting in a chair with a pillow. A lot. I don't have a fluffy chair, but my coffee is strong. And my coffee is strong too. Waiting for Lee to pour some more hot coffee because your finger hurts. What'd you do? Oh, crocheting much? I was piddling around and looking a while ago at just some different news things going on, and it looks like there's another jury starting this week, or another trial. They're in jury selection today. And the case is this dude. Hold on, let me go back and find it. Let me go back and find it. Let me X some stuff out here. And I will, I need to share this. Share the screen for you guys so we can keep an eye on this feed together. All right. And I can't make it bigger until the actual feed starts, so we'll just sit here and look at this. How's that? Just sit here and look at this. Want to? Watch the timer count down. Okay. Good morning, Diana. Good morning. Good morning. All right, so let me go back to what I was talking about before. I forget what his name is. Some dude, here he is. Bryce Rhodes, Brice. Rhodes, Rhodes, is charged with triple murder. Says the death penalty, though, was taken off of the case, or taken off of the table, because apparently he has serious mental illness or intellectual disability. He has had several outbursts in court, threatened a judge, accused a judge and prosecutor of having an affair. What in the world? Calling his attorneys racist and that they're members of the KKK. What? Judge has threatened to put a stun cuff on him if he acts out during the trial. Wow. So this is giving me Darrell Brooks vibes. It's giving me Darrell Brooks vibes. Hardcore. I saw someone else had mentioned that too, and I was like, this dude, Mickey Joe, he's going to be starting, his trial's going to be starting this week. His name is Bryce Rhodes. I don't know much about him. Um, yeah. All I know is what I've read. But apparently, he did kill three people. I think two of them were teenagers. And I don't know why, how, or any of that information. It's just something I gotta look into, I guess, and see. But yeah, yeah. Might have to check in on that later. Keep an eye on it and see what they're saying as far as um, how the jury selection is going and things like that. So I didn't want to get out of my fluffy chair this morning, Mick. Actually, my fluffy bed, my fluffy warm bed. Ooh, looks like we have something starting. Looks like we have a feed started. Let's full screen this puppy. Clayton County, Georgia. Good morning, JC. I saw some of your comments in the comments section over the weekend. I hope you're having a great Monday morning. And you're welcome. It's kind of weird because my channel is a crafty channel, right? And I've always been like a true crime fanatic. And I mean, don't get me wrong, I love listening to podcasts and stuff, but my favorite thing to do is watch trials like in real time. And so a lot of my subscribers and friends here on my channel are kind of the same way. And I was like, let's stream this. So that's what we're doing. And yeah, I think I'm just gonna have to create a new channel. Well, no thinking to it. I'm going to create a new channel and yeah, split up the trial stuff and the crafty stuff because yeah, a lot of my crafty peeps are like, what in the world is going on over here? So, um, and sometimes, crafts and crime go together, right? I mean, wouldn't you love to see, like, wouldn't it be something if we watched like a trial where someone was like attacked with like a crochet hook or knitting needles? That would be pretty funny. JC says I crochet and knit and like crime too. Well, there you go. There you go. Hmm. There you go. I'm a diamond painter. That's what I do. I like to diamond paint. Um, it's a little bit of an obsession, but anyway, this dude, this Bryce Rhodes dude, though, yeah, I'm gonna have to keep an eye out on this and do a little bit more, you know, find out some more information. Um, the whole like accusing and like snapping at the judge and his lawyers and stuff. That does sound like Daryl Brooks. Did anybody watch the Daryl Brooks case from the Waukesha Christmas parade? That was a sad, sad story. Mickey said, same JC. I love to crochet and knit. Grinch says, I'll be walking in late in grand Grinch fashion, lol. Only because my friend is running behind, but it's open court. There you go. Well, we are excited to see you, and we expect some winks, some, you know, some like random, waves, like inconspicuously though, right? Good morning, Gail. Good to see you. How are you this morning? How are you this morning? I hope if you're drinking coffee that your coffee is strong. It's Monday. This is cup number 2. I got up at 6:15 this morning. Got some stuff done. Kiddo off to school. Set up this live stream and got it scheduled. Did a few other little things. Hopefully I can get some work done while we're listening to trial stuff today, because I got some stuff to get done today. But I'm interested in seeing who is up on the witness stand today. Oh, we have audio. Good to know, Grinch. That's good to know. Nice. Grinch says strong chance that she takes the stand today. Oh, are you guys hearing an echo? I should not be hearing an echo, but I thought I heard an echo. Maybe not. Hey, Lee's here. Yes, Lee is here. He's got everything set up. The darkened milk chocolate fountain, marshmallow skewers, places out the sign. Thank you. No echo. Okay. Maybe it was something on the background in their feed. Yeah, I think it's them. I could never hate you or judge you. Oh, I saw it said, don't judge me, but I hate coffee. And that's why I was like, I could never hate you or judge you. Never. I'm doing good this morning. Doing good this morning. I like hot chocolate too, though. Yeah, I do. Good deal. Glad you guys don't have an echo. All right. Um, mm, yeah, I keep hearing like a low voice on the audio feed, on the feed. Wow, it looks like this case, the Bryce Rhodes case, happened a long time ago. Um, Interesting. And he has a co-defendant? I don't know. I'm gonna have to check this out. Yeah. Maybe if I can find a good article here in a little bit, then we'll talk about it some more. Yeah, I ordered the wrong menu today, so stuck with the snack table, said Lee. Oh, goodness. Everybody loves a good virtual snack, right? We do. Hmm. I wonder how I wonder how things are going to go in there today. I've thought about it all weekend, this trial. Like, man, man, rough stuff. I did get caught up on laundry this weekend. What did you guys do this weekend? What did you guys do this weekend? I got a little bit of Christmas shopping done, um, albeit through Amazon. However, still, I got a little bit of Christmas shopping done. Um, the heating pad was my friend this weekend. I used a heating pad on my neck and my I get like these weird little pinches in my back every once in a while, and it don't feel good. It don't feel good. Mm, thought about it all weekend too, huh? Yeah, I get it. Mm-mm-mm. Mm-mm-mm. Okay. It is 9:12 a.m. The feed said something like 35 minutes. So, but then they started it earlier. I don't know if maybe they like extended it and planned on it starting at 9:30 because there was no one in there in the courtroom. But then they went ahead and opened it up, just waiting. I like how they have the camera angle because when the judge comes in and out of her chambers, you can see her door swing open. So you know when you see that door swing open, things are getting ready to happen. Things are getting ready to happen. Official countdown. We have how many more days till Christmas? How many more days till Christmas? 14. Exactly 2 weeks. Does that sound right? Exactly 2 weeks. Stop yawning, Jenny. Mm. Um, sorry, tapping around, doing some digging here. Tap, tap, tap. Mm. Yeah, people are talking about her testifying. Yeah, Grinch mentioned it, and then they did that little what do you call it, colloquy or whatever with her on Friday. So we'll see how that goes. We'll see how it goes. I think she should. I think she should. Um, but I wonder who else they're going to have come up on the witness stand in her defense. Oh, who he's going to have, who Tucker is going to have come up there. Come up in there. Um, I just still can't get over the fact that she's just 21 years old when that happened. Oh, Mm. Oh no, Gail. Christmas, you mean? Yeah, Christmas is almost here. Christmas is almost here. You have all your shopping done, or you still got plenty more to go? Mm-hmm. Hmm. All right. Come on, folks. It's 9:17. 9:17. Mm-hmm. All right. I am gonna run take a potty break real quick before they appear. Anybody else need to take a potty break? Get you some more coffee. Get you some breakfast. Get your crochet hook or whatever it is you want to, to pass the time. And I will be right back. See you guys in a few minutes. I will have my phone on me though, so if they do start, then I will have it with me. So I'll be right back. I am back, but it does not look like they are. Sorry. Does not. But it does not look like. Sorry. I had the feed going on my phone. But I keep hearing like little teeny voices, like laughing and stuff on their feed. So yeah. Um, you've been at it since 3 a.m., JC? Wow. 3 a.m. this morning. I was up at 3 a.m. this morning. Not up. I mean, I went to bed early, but I did wake up at 3 something this morning. I woke up at 3 a.m. this morning and was like, okay, it's only 3 o'clock. I can go back to sleep. The random voices, though, over there are like creeping me out. What did I say that boy's last name was? Bryce. What? Rhodes? I think so. Yeah. Hmm. I want to look on my phone real quick and see if I can find. Hmm. You went back to sleep too, Mickey. Mm-mm-mm. Sorry, I'm just watching this. Just watching something else. So there's this video. Hold on just a second. Let me see if I can pause it real quick though. Hold on. So it doesn't start. Oh. Okay. Let me see if I can share this real quick with you guys while we're waiting on the other. Start this one so you guys can watch this. This is crazy pants. I still have to figure out how to maneuver going back and forth between these different things. So we'll watch this real quick. This is just where this dude that's getting ready to go on trial this week and a judge get into an argument. So let's see this. Here we go. Let me start this.
Another part of it is, if we have a concern, what's the alternative? Because then if we might get into a situation on the law where I'm supposed to weigh the pros and the cons. Ma'am?
Stop it. Look at me.
Ma'am!
He keeps tiring.
Ma'am, I told you once before, let me please help you understand. You can't just talk out like that, okay? If you can't handle him looking at you respectfully, all I can tell you to do is don't be in my courtroom, because he's going to keep doing it, particularly now that he knows that it irritates you. So you either are able to control yourself or you're not.
Okay, so it looks like while the judge is talking to the Bryce Rhodes guy, the Bryce Rhodes guy is like trying to have a little altercation, I guess, with these women in the back. Now, these women, I don't know if they are, or if that woman is one of the victims, like mothers or relatives or something like that. I have no idea. But yeah, so, but you could see him like do the whole dust shoulder thing. Yeah, I'm like, oh my goodness gracious. Merci, merci, merci. Yeah. Oh. I hear the judge getting ready to come in the Hannah Rhodes case, but let's finish watching this. It's only a couple minutes.
Not. And I would understand why you could not. I get that completely. But I can't have you talking up in court, okay? The next, I need you to hear this. The next time it happens, there will be a consequence. You understand that?
Yes,
All right? Mr. Rhodes, you're smiling. I don't know why you're smiling.
Because I can't.
Well?
Because I can't. It's not a crime to smell.
It's not a crime.
Continue what you were saying.
But it doesn't help you, all right, to irritate people.
All right.
And you have a lot at stake in this case.
It's not a crime to smell, is it?
I didn't say you were committing.
Okay then.
I'm saying you're not helping yourself.
Continue what you were saying.
I'm
allowed to smell.
I would suggest you do what helps
Okay.
you, not what hurts you.
Okay.
That's
do what I
all.
want to do.
Well,
Oh my goodness. This dude. Wow, he's like, JC says, I think the Bryce Rhodes guy is trying to pretend to be crazy, but he knew what he was doing when he killed them people. Just my opinion, of course, innocent till proven otherwise. Right. But you would, like the judge said, it's not going to help you to like act like this, right? Don't do that. Stop it. Stop it. Just shut your mouth. Shut your mouth. Shush. Hush. All right. Couple more seconds.
Let's
do
get
what
that
you want to
understood.
do. That's fine.
Let's get that understood.
I'm sorry.
Let's get that understood.
Well, you made
All
that
right.
abundantly
Continue what you
clear.
were saying about the motions.
Okay.
All right.
I'm saying I want to have a hearing on it, and we'll be happy to give you a date when we come back and talk about that. Is there work we need to do to be ready for that hearing, or we basically have what work needs to be done?
Judge, we haven't received their motion.
But we
yet,
have,
so-
yeah, we haven't filed the petition yet. Judge, we wanted to have a date from Your Honor. We have some exhibits, some of them may be lengthy, so we're trying to get all that.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow. All right, let's get back to the trial at hand. Let me get it shared. Hold on just a second, you guys. Good morning, Brenda. Okay, so apparently they were having technological problems.
Your Honor, we may approach real quick briefing.
Certainly.
And they're approaching. Approaching. Everybody looks nice this morning. I was on the verge. If Abigail pops in, my girlfriend pops in, she's gonna jump on me. But when I said everybody was, I instantly wanted to sing "Everybody Was Kung Fu Fighting." Da 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 da. Good morning, Brenda. How are you this morning? Yeah, right, Karen. Rude. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know how that's gonna go. So Grinch is supposed to be in the courtroom today. We will see. Grinch is a friend of the family of Hannah Payne's, and he's been hanging out here in the chat off and on, so that's kind of cool. Hopefully we'll get to see him. She looks angry at the world. Yup. I would agree. Dad looks nervous this morning.
Further that the court has to address before we bring the jurors in?
Nothing from the state.
I believe there was one more thing, and listening to, the 911 tape again last night, and I know, probably should have been objected to the first
Could you
time.
turn on your mic, please? Turn on your mic, please.
Court reporter can't hear what you're saying.
How? Hello, okay. Yes, ma'am, early in this case, when Judge Malone received the case, I went to go have a bond hearing, and the grounds for the bond hearing were to reconsider, plus the 911 tape appeared to have a 2-second gap that was unable to be explained why. The 2-second gap, you could hear from the video where it started and then where it came back in. And it came back in 14 seconds later when there's only a 2-second gap. So I was unaware of why a 911 tape would have a gap like that. And how do you fit 14 seconds into 2 seconds? During that hearing, I think the state stipulated that there is a 2-second gap where 14 seconds should be in the 911 tape. And I believe it's the one that's been presented here. I listened to it again last night just to make sure that the gap was still there, and it appeared to still be there. So I would object to being played again based on the fact that there is an issue with that 911 tape. I don't see procedurally how I could come back and try to have it redacted or taken back out of evidence. But I wanted to make the court aware of that gap that was there when it was discussed in the procedure of this court, not this court, but the previous court, and what was addressed and what was stipulated to. So I'm not sure how we would go about, and that's what I was looking for, some kind of law or something to present the court that would be able to stop or take the tape out because it has been altered with. The 911 custodian who got up on the stand said there was no way really to alter it in any form or fashion. However, it was altered, it appeared altered. When I addressed it earlier on in this court proceeding, the state didn't have an answer either. They just stipulated that, yeah, there's a gap, and yes, there should be 14 seconds in there, and if necessary, we could, I guess outside the jury's presence, play it, and I can tell you exactly where it is, and you can compare it to the video and see where the gap is and what should be there and played, but was not.
Any response from the state?
Sure.
I'm not sure what he's talking about as far as stipulating to anything. Judge, the foundation for those calls was laid. The witness testified unchallenged about what could and could not be done to the calls as they come into the call center. When I tendered them into evidence, there was no objection. And so those discs are fully in evidence and can be played for the jury. And I don't think it's appropriate for defense counsel to try to argue that it's been altered because that was the testimony that was elicited that it hadn't been, and then he did not object. And it's too late to go back and try to claim alteration and things of those lines. He's had these discs for 4 years. 4 years. If there was something incorrect about them, he could have certainly brought his own expert. He could have done something. He could have objected. None of that has happened. The calls are in evidence, and they can be played for the jury at this point, and we're going to play them this morning with the court's permission, obviously, as we discussed last week. And to try to come in now and claim that they've been altered when he didn't object or lay any foundation for that, there's literally zero evidence that there's anything wrong with these calls. There's a lot of operators in a 911 call center. If there's other noises or anything else that's going on in the background, it is what it is. But the calls are in, and I think this, I don't know what it is, but this, I don't know if it's an objection or this argument is overwhelmingly untimely and without foundation.
And I would refer the court back to my motion to reconsider bond back when they put Miss Payne back in jail because it got indicted. The case got indicted within 4 or 5 weeks, an unheard of time. And my motion was filed, and in that motion, it did describe what was heard on the tape, what the concerns were. And the prosecution or the assistant ADA at that time came in and said she would stipulate that there's a 2-second gap where a 14-second video had appeared to be what should have been there. So this all should be on the record based on my previous motion that I filed with the reconsideration of a bond motion. It was heard, and it was decided that she would get a bond based on maybe some discrepancy or something being altered. So there was a bond given based on me playing the audio and playing the video at that time. And the ADA, it wasn't foul, it was I guess a stand-in. And she stood there and said, I stipulate there's a 2-second gap where 14 seconds should go in. And the judge made that decision to give her a bond based on me presenting that evidence. So there should be record of it. There should be a motion filed that described it, and there should be an order where she got a bond based on that. So there is record of this. And once again, as for timely, I guess I should have caught this earlier, but I wasn't sure which 911 because it had been so long ago and the court had already made a decision on it. So that's why I was looking for the law to see what I could bring in to use to bolster my argument, besides just saying I want to bring to the court's attention that this 911 tape had been altered.
Okay. Are you checking, going back?
There's a transcript, but again, it doesn't matter. Before this jury, the state laid the foundation for those calls, laid the foundation for any ability to alter them, tendered them, and they were admitted without objection. So if he had an objection, that was the time to make it. That is what I mean by untimely. If he thought 4 years ago there was a problem with the discs, then something should have been done for trial. That was not a trial motion, and there's literally zero evidence that she got a bond because of a gap in a 911 call. Zero evidence of that. She got a bond because she'd already had a bond, and when we re-indicted her, she was rearrested. She'd already been on bond. So that is an attempt to mislead this court, and that's not why she got a bond. She got a bond because she already had one, and had already been out, and the judge just basically reset the bond and put her on an ankle monitor.
That is incorrect, Your Honor. She denied a bond when she got rearrested. We went in front of the court and asked for a bond. She was denied a bond. And the judge was hesitant to allow another bond until I filed a motion to reconsider, and I brought evidence in there showing that there was a gap in this statement. There had been some kind of alteration of this document. And at that time, she decided to give her a bond. And it was a much higher bond than she already had done. So she had to keep that bond that she already paid for intact and pay an additional $300,000. So it was not given because she already had a bond. That was my first argument to get a bond, was the magistrate judge came to the conclusion that she was eligible for a bond and gave her a bond. Why would this court deny a bond? So I had to bring it back up in a motion to reconsider. And I put the facts in there of the tape being altered.
Okay,
If I may, Judge, I have the transcript.
okay. The transcript of
The bond hearing, yes, Judge, where it was fully explained. And it was ADA Fowler.
Then obviously that's the wrong. Mine was the motion to reconsider, not the original motion to bond.
By Mr. Fowler to the 911, it was a different custodian of records. Can you kind of just briefly explain to us what's going on during that silent period? The explanation. The way that the server works, that this audio was saved on, the best way to describe it is it's similar to a voice-aux recorder, if you're familiar with those. It only records when there is actual activity above a certain level. In other words, if you have a voice-aux tape recorder that you used in college, if you set it on a corner of a desk to record a seminar or something, if there's a pause in the lecture while the instructor takes a breath, for example, that recorder may stop. Question. So it's not as though the audio was edited to cut something out, it's just that the system can't hear, and so it stops for a moment. Answer. That's absolutely correct. It has not been edited in any way. And I'm trying to look through Mr. Tucker's cross-examination of that foundation witness.
And this is not the motion I'm talking about. Mine is the motion to reconsider bond in front of Judge Malone. Fowler had already left by that time.
This is in front of Judge Malone.
And Fowler had already left, but I did the motion to reconsider.
No, the
that
motion
specifically discusses what the issue you raised, Attorney Tucker, unless you raise it again, but that specifically addresses what you're claiming is 2 seconds, but really extends into 14 seconds.
What I was addressing there is it sounded like it was radio silence. And I was asking, is it common to have radio silence instead of hearing what is being recorded? And the one to be considered addresses exactly a 2-second gap where when you see it on your computer, it drops and comes back, the ball underneath it. And I specifically why there would be a gap taken out that has her in the back in the video screaming, stop, 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 whereas the audio of the 911 has none of that. And then it comes back right with, oh my God, ma'am, he just pulled the trigger of my gun. It was a gap that had that part taken out. And when I asked the state about it, we brought it to the judge's attention. There should be transcripts of it.
I'm holding the this is the motion to reconsider bond after indictment. I'm holding it.
No.
I'm reading from it. It's in front of Judge Malone. It's in July of 2019. That's the discussion about the 911 call.
And that was the motion to reconsider.
Alan was not present at that motion to reconsider. And I'm trying to pull up the case summary so I can get the exact date of it.
The only other motion to reconsider, Judge, was a motion that I argued when she asked to have her ankle monitor removed. That's the only other. That's the only other hearing. But this is the motion because, as the counsel is pointing out in his opening of this motion, she had already made the bond. She had already started her life again, and then they indicted her and added charges. So this is the motion to reconsider. And the 911 call is discussed and very clearly explained. So his answers to that question, he's already been provided the answer to that question.
So there was a motion for reconsideration of bond briefing support July 29th, 2019. And then there was one July 1st, same thing, but then emergency motion for reconsideration bond and briefing support thereof. So was that the July 29th?
I think that's when you would see it being filed. The hearing, it looks like, occurred on July the 12th. Sometimes there's a delay in the filing if you're looking at CPUA.
And then that motion to reconsider was denied, it seems, the 7th of August, 2019.
So there does have to be another one because if it was denied, we know she got another bond. I don't know when that one was.
Okay.
But the answer to the question about the 911 call has very clearly been answered. There's only one witness who has testified to the foundation of the 911 call, and it was admitted without objection. So I think it's just too late. They've already heard it. It's in evidence. And he has no good faith basis and no foundation and no evidence in order to be able to argue to the jury that it's been altered. There's no good faith basis to do that.
Your Honor, I have a good basis. If you would like to hear the 911 tape and look at the video, I can show you exactly where it cuts off. And you can hear, if you watch the video, you can see where the video shows the part that's missing and then comes back in with her screaming, man, he just shot himself and pulled the trigger of my gun. There's a gap, 2 seconds. And then there's 14 seconds of that video that should be there. So there's your good faith good faith basis. And that is what occurred, and that's what I argued on the motion, the latter part to get a bond. And upon hearing it in court, the judge came to the conclusion that she would get a bond because it appeared like there was some kind of alteration of the 911. As for talking to the 911, Tim White, or the custodian, I was asking specifically why there was radio silence and why there was no one talking during that period of time that they're supposed to be telling her not to chase. And then I asked about the other tape, and Alan went through it methodically and said, these cannot be altered, but yet it appeared to be altered. And that was my argument, and that was in front of Judge Malone, and that's what gave the basis for her to give a bond, which, like I said, was an extremely large bond since she'd already made one. And that was my understanding as she turned and said, okay, we're going to give her a bond, but it's going to be this amount. So I know I can't do anything about it being submit it into evidence, but if there's some way to, upon the court's approval, explain that there is altercation, if we need to play for you to come to your conclusion of it, I have no problem with that.
And this court is not a finder of fact. The court can't find that there's alteration. There is no alteration. It has been explained. The only evidence before this court is that it can't be altered once it's saved on their system. And then his question about those quote-unquote gaps are explained, because if there's not a high enough volume level, then it stops recording. It's been explained. There is no mystery here. There is no conspiracy here. Nothing has been altered. There's no evidence of that. And it's in evidence, and we just need to deny I don't know what motion this is, but it's in evidence. The jurors can listen to it as many times as they want to. And that's all there is about this.
Okay, let me ask you, Attorney Tucker, can we play that specific portion?
Sure. I think we went through and tagged exactly where it was, and then, like I said, you can hear where there's a gap, and there's nothing being played. And then all of a sudden, it pops back up with her saying, ma'am, you just pulled the trigger of my gun. But if you hear where it stops, and you put the video where it stops and listen to the whole video, you'll see there's 14 seconds of that video, but there's only a 2-second gap. That's why I was asking about Tim White, to find out when he was going to be here, if he was going to be here. He was the one that was the custodian, the head of it at that time, who would have to explain. So if the court would like to hear it, they can cue it up, or we can cue it up to where it's at, and then compare it to the video. And in the video, you're going to hear her screaming, stop, stop, stop. In the 911 call, you don't hear that at all. And you hear how loud she is, and you see where that phone is right there below her. You would think it would catch that audio, but it doesn't.
But there's an explanation that if it doesn't rise to the level where it can be recorded, then it wouldn't be. But here's what I'll do. If we can just quickly play the video with the audio to see what it is that you're trying to establish, Attorney Tucker.
The IT.
Ben is here. Ben can. Thank you, Ben.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, the 911 said, she said, he just pulled the trigger on my gun. Oh, I see Grinch. I see Grinch, you guys, in the very back. Right-hand side with the mohawk. We see Grinch. We see Grinch. Hi, Grinch.
Want us to turn down the volume so we get it right to the slot, or does the court care?
Or if you turn up the volume so we can hear if there's a pause.
Okay. So we're going to go to where the pause is. I think nothing to hear about that.
Well, just something preceding that lets us know that there is a pause.
Okay. So, if you can go. Ma'am,
got that there's a radio silence that you could hear her talking all the way up to it, and boom, it stops.
Ma'am.
Right there.
Ma'am.
So I believe it's where that click was that we heard. And you hear click, and then there's nothing, and then boom, you hear bam.
Okay.
So,
And where's the video that corresponds?
we're gonna put it on. So at 3:49 in the recording, you click, and then boom, all of a sudden you hear man.
Ma'am.
Yeah, that goes to the video. And you can hear her in there screaming, stop, stop, stop.
Hey.
And you hear some man. And you can play it. As you can hear in the background, you hear her saying man. You just pull the trigger, so go back just one more time. So part of this is your screaming, stop.
Hey.
So that pushed it 14 seconds, and it was a 2-second gap that appeared to have a click, and then just her coming back screaming, man. You don't hear any of the stop, stop, stop. That was the concerns what we raised at bond motion, and the ADA that was handling it there, once again, she was not as familiar with the case because Fowler just left. But that was one of the bases we brought up, that she agreed with us and told the judge. The judge watched it, listened to it, and then issued the bond.
Okay, so that was perhaps a bond issue. The court does find that the tape has not been altered. There has been a witness here that has said that what was presented was not altered. The court believes that witness's testimony. I'm not sure what you're trying to establish with respect to the video and the audio, but there has been an explanation that was read with a transcript where they're saying when there is no activity to be recorded or it doesn't rise to the level that it can be recorded, then there would be silence. And so the court finds that it has already been published to the jurors, and there was no objection at the time. The court finds that the objection at this time is untimely, but that there's not necessarily a foundation for the court to find that it shouldn't be republished to the jurors at this time. So it will be republished.
And if I could bring to the court's attention, from the testimony I wrote down, that if it was altered or changed, it would have been somebody above her who had the custodian of it, and asked, would that be Tim White? And she said Tim White was her boss and would have been in that position. I do have Tim White under subpoena, and I guess we'll address it then.
Okay, all right. If you determine that you need to call Tim White, then certainly the court will allow you to do so.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you, Attorney Tucker. Okay, anything further that I need to address?
Nothing from the state, sir.
Okay, anything further, Attorney Tucker?
Nothing for the defense, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. We can go ahead and bring the jurors in.
Okay, that was a little cray-cray. That was a little cray cray. What is that noise? It sounds like a tuba playing in the background. Do you guys hear that? Sounds like there's a marching band outside. Holy cow. So, yeah, I don't know. I feel like the judge was like, you just wasted X amount of my time this morning. Yeah. Yay. Brenda, I don't know. I mean, it looks like she's his assistant. Like, what? He should have an assistant there to do what the things that she's like. I saw her get down on the ground that first day or the second day trying to plug in computer cords and stuff. I'm like, what in the world? JC, I know that's where I'm like, I'm really struggling with why did you even bring it out to begin with? I'm really struggling with that. Struggling.
Okay.
Clump, 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 clump. Hey, Grinch, back there in the back. We see you. We see you, Grinch. She is assisting in her own defense, right? Hey. She is assisting in her own defense. Hey, Freeze Bigs.
Good
So-
morning, ladies and gentlemen of the jury. I hope you're all well today. Happy new week. You look refreshed and ready to listen to the evidence again this morning. The state will proceed at this time to call its next witness.
State calls Ashley Jackson.
I wonder how many more witnesses the state has. Have they said and I just missed it?
You're going to be sworn in by ADA Hunter.
All right, Ms. Jackson, are you able to remove your mask?
I am.
Thank you. Could you raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm that the testimony that you will provide to this court will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
All right, you can have a seat and pull yourself up to the microphone. All right, will you please state and spell your name for the record?
It's Ashley Jackson, ASHLEY, Jackson.
And Ms. Jackson, are you a resident of Clayton County?
I am.
And how long have you been a resident of Clayton County?
All my life.
All right. And are you familiar with the area of Forest Parkway at the intersection of Riverdale Road?
I am.
Now, is that location in Clayton County?
It is.
And were you in the area of Forest Parkway and Riverdale Road on May 7, 2019?
I was.
And why were you in that area that day?
I was getting off work.
Okay. And about what time would that have been?
A little bit after 6 p.m.
Now, where do you work? Like, actually, where is it located? Where would you have been coming from that day?
Atlanta South Parkway.
And is that connected to Forest Parkway?
It is.
Now, can you explain what happened as you turned off of Atlanta South Parkway onto Forest Parkway on May 7, 2019?
I was getting off work. As I was approaching Forest Parkway, I was making a left off Atlanta South Parkway. As I was making my left and getting into the far right lane, Miss Hannah was coming up Forest Parkway. She was coming from the end off of Highway 85, and she almost ran me off the road. She was speeding. She was going very fast. When she almost ran me off the road, my coworker actually called me and was like, "That car almost ran you off the road." And I said, "Yeah, she's probably going to cause an accident." So I proceeded up Forest Parkway. She was weaving in and out of traffic. Once I got towards Riverdale Road, I saw Miss Payne had caused the accident.
Now, when you say she was weaving in and out of traffic, were you the only car that she almost ran off the road?
The right lane really didn't even have any cars in that lane, but she was still going like left, right, making other cars hit their brakes.
Now, as you got closer to Riverdale Road, when you said you saw that she caused an accident, can you explain to the jury what you actually saw?
As I got to Riverdale Road, traffic was everywhere. Well, traffic was stopped. It was just one of those days that it was just very busy. There was already something going on at the highway. People were out walking all over the place. And she had maneuvered her car in front of another vehicle and stopped them and caused the scene.
Now, do you recall if they actually collided at the point that you saw?
I don't really believe they actually collided. I'm not sure. I don't want to say something that I didn't see.
And once you saw the defendant's vehicle cornering the other vehicle, what did you, if anything, did you see her do?
I saw her at the driver's side door of the vehicle, yelling obscenities for the man to get out the car. It looks like she was trying to fight him through the window.
And what was her demeanor at this time?
Very aggressive. Very aggressive.
And what made you kind of stop at that time?
Because she was yelling, "Get out of the car, MFer," like banging at him like this, like, "Get out of the car." So it was the big scene.
Now, do you recall if the victim's window was up or down at that time?
I want to say his window was down. I can't recall if it was all the way down, but it was down. And she was like trying to fight him through the window.
And when you say she was trying to fight him through the window, what did you actually see?
I just saw her hands moving, "Get out of the car, motherfucker," doing all this. I never saw anyone's hands come out of the window, per se, but I did see her at the window.
And could you see anything that the victim was doing inside of the vehicle at that time?
I couldn't see anything he was doing inside the vehicle. I never saw his hands come out of the vehicle from where I was.
Now, after you observed her hands moving and telling the victim to get out of the vehicle, what, if anything else, did you see?
Her pull a gun. After she pulled the gun, she shot him and she said, "Now you need an ambulance."
Now, when she pulled the gun, When did you hear the shot?
Immediately.
Now, were you able to observe any of the victim's demeanor during the entire incident?
No.
And do you see the person who shot the victim in the courtroom today?
I do.
Can you identify them by an article of clothing they're wearing and identify where they're sitting in the courtroom?
She's sitting directly in front of me wearing a blue shirt.
Let the record reflect that the witness has identified the defendant in open court. The record will reflect. Now, did you know the defendant prior to the incident?
No.
And did you know the victim prior to this incident?
No.
Now, after the victim was shot, what happened?
He kind of, well, he just laid back in his seat. His eyes went white. He just laid back. She stood back. I think everybody like ran towards her. I think I even came towards her and I was like, oh my God, you shot him. Somebody else waved down a police officer. He was already at the exit. The officer came running up. He said, what happened? Who shot? She tried to say that he grabbed her gun, but everyone immediately said, no, that's not true, because that's not true. The man never grabbed her gun. And he put her in handcuffs.
Now, what was the defendant's demeanor immediately after the victim was shot?
She had no remorse. She was just like, she was thugged out. She had no remorse at all. She was so right in that moment. She felt like she had done something.
Now, did you ever see the defendant attempt to render any aid to the victim?
Not at all.
Yeesh. Hardcore. Let's see how this goes. This is his opportunity to cross. Hardcore.
Judge, my name's Matt, I'm the attorney for Ms. Payne. I've got a few questions to ask. You stated that you were coming home from work. Is that an accurate diagram of where it occurred in front of you?
Yes.
Okay. Could you show me where you saw the accident happen and where you were positioned?
I was coming from this way.
Mm-hmm. And which way were you turning?
I was going to make, this is McDonald's, I was going to make a turn this way to go down the road.
Okay. Had you
So I saw the accident here, I ended up being back here. She was like right in here somewhere, it was right in here somewhere. So it was maybe 1 or 2 cars in front of me.
Good morning, Cherry.
And so how far would you say you were from the accident?
I was literally right there. I had pulled my vehicle around another car so I could get a good glimpse because I was trying to record it, but it happened so fast I couldn't even record it.
And you stated you were right there beside him on the left side of it, on the right side? Do you recall?
I wasn't right there beside them, but I was right there. I wouldn't say I was right there beside them.
Yes, ma'am. These are already been put into evidence. 5, 6, and 7.
Yes.
These are pictures of the accident that have already been put you see that? And where were you at in relation to that position?
I had to be probably back here a little bit somewhere. I had pulled my vehicle over this way so I could see.
Okay. And I'm gonna put one on the screen.
Okay.
And you said you were at?
Probably right up in here somewhere I pulled my vehicle.
I mean, she's probably told this story multiple times. But also,
That shows more of the road.
My vehicle is over here somewhere by these white lines. I pulled my vehicle over here.
like, I want to know where she was at exactly when she said she saw, like, the white, his eyes turn white. You know what I mean?
Good. Do you see on your screen?
Mm-hmm.
All right. You should have the capability to circle and a color will come up. Can you circle where you were?
Over in this area right here, over here.
Okay. So you were coming off of Riverdale Road or Forest Parkway?
It's coming off Forest Parkway.
Okay. And you see the diagram there that shows the roads. So you were behind them. You were behind the red truck.
I was one or two cars behind the red truck.
Okay.
When I saw the accident, I pulled over that way. I pulled my vehicle up this way so I could see traffic was stopped.
Okay, so when you pulled did you kind of pull on the sidewalk or to the side of it?
I pulled where I circled it. I pulled over that area.
Okay, so you were closer to the median.
I pulled right there where I circled it.
Okay, ma'am, if you look at the other picture there, do you see a median?
I do see a median. So
Okay.
that's where I pulled it. I pulled over that way.
Okay, and
So I could get a better look. I was trying to record, but I couldn't get my camera open fast enough because it happened so fast.
okay, so you pulled over there. On the other side of the truck or the Jeep, was there any traffic or anything stopping anybody from going that angle to pull up?
Traffic was stopped. There was a traffic jam. There was something going on at the highway. Nobody was barely moving. It was a little traffic moving, but nobody was barely moving.
Okay, and you said that she was cutting in and out of traffic?
Coming up Forest Parkway.
Okay, and you said that she cut one of your coworkers off, and that coworker,
No, she almost ran me off the road, and my coworker was behind me, and she called me and she said, "Dang, that car almost ran you off the road." And I said, "Yeah, she probably gonna cause an accident."
okay, now ma'am, do you recall having a meeting with the detectives on this matter?
I did come in for an interview.
Okay, and in that interview, do you recall speaking with the detectives?
Yep.
Okay, and in that interview, do you recall telling them about the incident as you just described right there?
Yes.
Okay. And in this interview, to the best of your knowledge, do you recall telling them that he almost ran my coworker off and never once mentioned that he almost ran you off the road?
That's not true.
That's not true, okay.
I said she almost ran me off the road because that's what happened.
And now she's digging in his briefcase or her briefcase. I mean, she literally looks like his assistant. Wowzers. Yeah, I mean, it's one thing if she is I'm just trying to envision the scene, you know, if she's in the car, how can she see his eyes? Unless she had a view of his face and, you know, later on she could zoom into the video and saw that what happened with his eyes. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like after the fact. But that's not what she said. She said she saw his eyes turn white. So was she standing there? I don't know. I don't know. Just my rambling thoughts. That's a good point too, Freeze Biggs. I get it. I get it.
Yes, you may.
What I hold here is the transcripts of your interview with the detectives. If you could look at that to refresh your memory of what was said that day. And particularly what I'm asking, and you have, please take your time to look at whatever you want to in that, but I'm particularly looking at page number 3.
Page number 3?
Yes, ma'am.
You would think, though, that the prosecution would tell their witnesses, you know, try not to
Where
be
Detective
like.
Chapman is saying, is she coming from behind you?
That's not what page 3 says.
Did you have, did you have more than one interview
No.
with the detectives? Let me approach your honor.
You may.
I think it was in more detail. Page 4, so look at page 3 right here. There you go. Okay, there you go.
Okay.
If I could bring your attention to where it says, so she came from behind, I didn't even see her coming, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And then Detective Chapman says, sure. He said, one of my coworkers,
Oh, hold on a second, Attorney Tucker. You have to articulate
Okay.
because our court reporter has to record and we can't record.
Okay.
Thank you.
and it says, one of my coworkers, she was pulling up behind me and she says, dang, that car almost ran me off the road. And you said, yeah, that crazy bitch is gonna cause an accident. You recall saying that,
Yes.
okay? Do you recall saying, and you can look to refresh your memory, that you said that she almost ran you off the road, or did you use the comment that your friend said, your coworker?
My coworker called me and she said, dang, that car almost ran you off the road. And I said, yes. That crazy bitch is gonna cause an accident.
Now, can you look at the statement I was saying right there where it says Ashley Jackson says, one
Yeah.
of my coworkers, she was pulling up behind me and she called me and says, dang, that car almost ran her off the road. Not you, her. Is that correct?
I said what I said. I'm not sure why it says her, but when I said it, I was speaking in third person. Like, my coworker's calling me saying, dang, that car almost ran you off the road. So I'm not sure why it's typed that way.
So you're saying whoever listened to this audio of your interview inadvertently put her instead of you?
Could have been.
Okay. And you do recall saying, yeah, the crazy bitch is going to cause an accident.
Yes.
Okay. So at that time, you had decided because of her driving that she was a crazy bitch, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And
Pretty much.
okay.
Oh, now
And you
come
didn't know what was
on.
going on. You didn't know why she was driving that way. You just assessed that that's who she is based on that driving.
She was speeding up the road and she almost ran me off the road. So that's someone's natural reaction. So I'm not judging her per se because I don't know her, but that's
Right.
someone's natural reaction when someone almost runs you off the road. You're like, dang.
Right.
So yes, That is my comment, and that's what I said at the time.
Now, you said there was traffic everywhere, everybody was stopped, and it was real slow, correct?
Once we got to Riverdale Road, it was stopped. But while we were traveling to Forest Parkway, the traffic was not stopped. We were still moving.
Okay. So it's fair to say that there were still cars moving and that cars could go around that accident either to the right or to the left, correct?
On Forest Parkway,
Yes, ma'am.
once you got to Riverdale Road, you really couldn't go because there was traffic, so you had to wait.
So how is she weaving in and out and going past you if it was traffic stopped right up there?
So Atlanta South Parkway and Forest and Riverdale Road are a little ways from each other. So she was weaving through traffic going up Forest Parkway. Once we got to Riverdale Road, that's when traffic was stopped.
And could you show me on that diagram that's right there? You can stand up and show it, please.
What do you want me to show you?
Show you the direction of your travel and the direction of her travel.
We were coming from here, going towards here. This is where traffic was stopped because the highway is, I think this is the highway maybe? I'm not sure. Wherever the highway is, there was a incident. Like I said, the police officer was already on the scene. So traffic was very heavy here in this area. Nobody was really moving. But coming up Forest Parkway, we were able to move.
Okay. And so you're coming this direction, correct?
I understand that.
Down that road, as you said.
Correct.
Okay. And the accident was where? You said was.
The accident was in here. The accident was in this area.
Okay. So, as you see that turn lane right there, he appears to be turning right on to Riverdale Road, correct?
That's correct.
Okay. And you're saying she came around and cut him off up there where he appears to be turning right, correct?
That's correct. You see how her
And
vehicle
you
is?
were turning left, correct?
I was going to turn left, but when I saw the incident, I got behind them because I wanted to see what was going on.
Okay. So you're behind them and you're saying you're at the meeting, correct?
So there was maybe 1 or 2 cars in front of me initially, but once I saw what was going on, I pulled my vehicle over because I wanted to see. I was trying to record.
All right. And
I didn't know all that was going to happen.
What happened to the 1 or 2 cars that were in front of you?
They still were there. I moved my car out. Like I told you, I pulled my vehicle out so I could get a better view.
Okay, so using this picture here, can you show me where the 1 or 2 cars were positioned?
They were over that way.
Maybe if you could use the screen, you could mark
They
it.
were over this way. They were over here.
Okay.
I pulled my vehicle out.
So it's fair to say that where they were at, it was clear they could pull up there, or they could keep going past it, or get around that.
Nobody could go once she did that.
Excuse me?
Nobody could move in that lane once she did that.
Okay, in that lane. But was the area, you see where a walkway and all that area is it fair to say that that was clear? They could have drove around the vehicles?
On the sidewalk?
Yes, ma'am.
Who was driving on the sidewalk?
I'm asking, is it possible they could have gone around the traffic, around that, on the sidewalk? Was it clear?
Who was driving on the sidewalk?
Ma'am, I'm asking you a question. I'm not here to answer
I'm not
questions.
going to say somebody was going to drive on the sidewalk. I'm not understanding why.
Oh
Ma'am,
my
I'm asking you a
goodness.
clear
Oh my goodness.
question. Is it possible for somebody to have gone up on that sidewalk and drove around the accident? Whether you would do it or not, was it possible?
I'm not sure.
Okay. And you said those 2 cars pulled over there?
Those 2 cars were, it was 1 or 2 cars over here. I pulled my car out at an angle so I could see.
And that would be at the kind of the top of the area.
Kind of where I circled it over here. That's where I pulled my car over in that area.
But on this, you're
Good
saying
morning,
that they're
Elizabeth.
turning right, going upward, correct? Following that flow of the diagram.
What are you asking?
How they approach you?
I don't know, Elizabeth.
Where you're saying they're going this way, going this way, correct?
That's where the accident happened.
Okay, so
I
they're
think-
going this way.
I think these
And
2
you're
are
saying
gonna.
pull over here at the meeting, and they're right there, correct?
Pull over this way, right over here, so I can record.
So right in this area here.
So wherever this is right here, I pulled right here.
Okay. And you stated you got on the meeting, you went reaching for your phone, correct?
I was still looking. I was trying to fumble with my phone like this, but I could never get my recorder out. Get my camera to come on. It happened so fast.
And this is while you were talking to your coworker on the phone, correct?
Nope, I was talking to my coworker on the phone back on Forest Parkway when I first pulled out. When I got to this point, me and my coworker were not on the phone. I was trying to, I was looking, I was trying not to miss anything. I was trying to hurry up and get my camera to come on, but I could never get my camera to come on because it happened so fast.
All right, and do you recall looking down further where the Detective Chapman said, right? Would you have said the same thing? And you said, right. So there's no cars in this lane, but there's cars in this lane. Okay, which lane are you talking about?
So in the right lane on Forest Parkway, there were barely any cars, but in the left lane, like she could have just went up that lane, but like I said, there were cars in the left lane. She kept weaving through traffic. That's why I said that.
All right, so where she's parked right there, it appears she's come over into that lane, you said the right lane, correct?
Okay, so when I turned off of Atlanta South Parkway, it's further ways from Riverdale Road. So she didn't have to weave in and out of traffic. That's what I'm saying. She kept weaving in and out of traffic. There was no need for her to do that. She could have stayed in the right lane.
She could have stayed in her lane, right?
All right, and as you said, she's weaving in and out of traffic.
Yep.
Was she in that turn lane or was she in the lane going straight?
She was out my sight by that time. By the time I got down to Riverdale Road, she had already caused the little accident and was out at his window. So that's when I saw her, when she was out at his window.
Okay, so you didn't see that maneuver or whatever they're saying. You didn't see the Jeep pull in front.
No, I didn't see
it?
how she maneuvered and landed in front of him. I just knew that's what she did. By the time I got to Riverdale Road, she was already at his window, fighting him and doing all that.
So you don't know if another car caused her to go into that direction. You just presume, because she was a crazy bitch driving, that she did that, correct?
Nobody caused her to go into that vehicle.
But you said you didn't see it.
No, I didn't see it.
So why are you so certain that nobody caused her to do that?
Because nobody else was on the scene.
Okay.
Nobody else was in an accident. Nobody else was in an accident.
All right, so you're saying that the red truck hit her car?
It's not what I'm saying.
Okay, what are you saying?
Listen, I don't know how they collided, so I never said anything about that. So I don't want to answer any questions about that because I never said how they collided. When I got to Riverdale Road, that was the scene.
Okay.
And I saw her at his driver's side window fighting him and cursing.
All right, so you never saw her exit the Jeep, and anything that occurred, you only saw her at the window, and she said banging on the window or banging on the truck, correct?
She was banging at the window. I thought she was banging at the window at first, but then I realized she was like attacking him through the window.
Okay, and you said attacking him from the window. So the angle you have, if she's at the window, you can't see who's inside the truck, correct? Is that fair to say?
No, I could clearly see.
You could clearly see who's in the window at the angle you were at.
I could clearly see.
And you were in the driver's side of the vehicle that you pulled over in that meeting, correct?
Correct.
Okay, and from that angle, with her standing at the window, you could see who was in the vehicle and what was going on.
I could see her at the vehicle. Her arms were moving like this. Get out of the car, MF her. She pulled the gun out and shot him. I could clearly see.
And you are positive she was saying MF.
Very positive.
Okay. It wasn't saying anything else, but positive that the curse word you heard was MF.
Yes, she was saying get out of the car, and then she shot him, and then she said, now you need an ambulance.
All right, and you said that she shot him. How did she shoot him? Did you see the shot?
I saw her pull out the gun and shoot him.
So she pulled out a gun and pow, shot him?
Yes, in the midst of the situation she had going on, she pulled out the gun and shot him.
Okay, and she pulled out the gun. Was she outside the vehicle when she pulled out the gun?
Yes, she was at his driver's side door.
And then she shot outside the car or the truck?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So your testimony is that you pull up to the median, stop. From that angle, two cars are in front of you that move out of your way. So
those cars never moved out of my way. I pulled my car out to the side, like I said, to get a better view so I could record.
And you said the other two cars pulled over to the side, correct?
I never said those cars moved.
You just drew a line up there, man.
I said those cars were already right there. Okay. I never said those cars moved.
but they were in front of you at one point.
They were, and I pulled my car to the side.
Okay, so you pull your car to the side to see it. You're grabbing your phone, trying to figure out how to record, correct?
That's correct.
And during this process of trying to figure out how to record, you're watching her and seeing the individual inside that truck.
I watched her the whole time. I was trying to like move my fingers by memory. I could never get my camera to open. It happened so fast.
Okay, but during that period of time, you're trying to get your phone to do a recording, you're looking.
Your Honor, asked and answered.
I'm,
Asked the same question multiple times, and she has answered the question.
Your response, Attorney
Your
Tucker.
Honor, she has not given a definite answer of, and my question would be, if I could finish it, would.
Finish your response.
Okay, I have not finished my question, Your Honor. I was going to talk about the face she said she thought she saw, and I was going to ask what was the demeanor of the individual inside the truck.
Okay, I'm going to sustain the objection. She has been asked, she's answered the same question several times. Now you can move on to your next question, but she has answered.
And I would respectfully request the court. I never asked what the demeanor of the driver's face was. She never answered that.
Next question.
Okay. What was the demeanor of the person inside the truck?
Wow.
I never really saw his face until afterwards. Until after she had shot him and everybody was at the car, everybody was trying to see if he was okay. That's the only time I really saw up close of his face.
Okay, and then when you stated that you remember hearing her say a comment of, now you need an ambulance.
Correct.
Okay, was that before or after she was on the phone with 911 requesting an ambulance?
I never saw her call 911 for an ambulance. When she shot him, she said, now you need an ambulance.
Okay, and so after she shot him, you said she walked away and did not pick up a phone?
She never walked away.
Okay, did she pick up a phone?
I don't recall her picking up a phone.
And
I never said that in my statement.
Ma'am, I'm asking you from your memory and seeing what you...
I don't recall her walking away and picking up a phone.
Okay, do you recall her calling or talking or overhearing her say...
I do not recall her picking up a phone to call an ambulance.
Well, first of all, she needs to let him finish his questions,
So
even though
it's
they've
fair
been
to
asked
say
100
that-
times.
That
They keep cutting each other
when,
off.
when the incident occurred and everybody is stepping up to see what's going on, as the congregation gets around the truck right there, you're telling me you didn't hear her make any other comments besides now he needs an ambulance?
After she shot him, she said, now you need an ambulance. She was
And-
talking to him. She wasn't talking to, she was fighting with him. And she felt like she couldn't handle him the way she wanted to handle him, so she pulled
Your
out
Honor, I
her gun
object
and she
to
shot
her
him.
making comments of what she thought. That's speculation.
Okay.
Okay, so don't comment about what you thought, just respond to his questions.
Okay.
But,
Okay. Now, you stated that in your testimony, if you want to go to page 7 to refresh your memory. And if you look below where Detective Chapman says, okay. Your comments were, she said nothing. The police officer finally came from the exit. And he was like, who shot who? Everybody's like, she shot him. And the first thing she said is, I didn't even have my finger on the trigger, but he reached for my gun, but I never saw his hands come out the window.
That's correct.
Okay. So you're stating that you overheard her say, I didn't have my finger on the trigger, but you're saying you never saw his hands come out the window, correct?
That's correct.
And she was outside the window shooting at him, correct? That's what you said?
That's correct.
And another guy was like, hey, I got it recorded, correct? You remember that?
Somebody did. I think somebody did say that.
Did you ever get to see that recording?
No.
And basically you were in the crowd that everybody was saying she shot him?
Yeah, when the police officer came up from the exit, he asked what happened. She tried to say that that she didn't pull the trigger. He was trying to pull her gun, but I never saw him do that.
Okay. And do you recall, if you can go to page 10, do you recall saying that she pulled that gun out and shot him immediately? And the detective said, sure, she was pissed. She was so pissed, like she was mad as hell.
That's correct.
Okay. So you're saying that she pulled the gun, pow, immediately shot.
She did.
And that's what you saw from the angle you were at right there at the median, correct?
Correct.
All right. Did you ever move your car from that median?
After the whole scene was over with, yes.
Okay. And where did you pull your car to?
I really can't remember.
And you stated on page 12 of your testimony to the detective you said, I did see the gun outside the window when it was fired. The detective said, did you see the gun outside the window when it was fired? And you said, yes, I could see it. I could see her shooting the gun.
Yes.
Okay. And earlier you said at that thing you didn't see her shoot the gun.
It's not what I said.
In your testimony, we were having just a few, when the state was asking you a question, you don't recall saying that I didn't see her shoot the gun?
I saw her shoot the gun.
And did you write a statement on that day?
I did.
They're going to have to redact it. Yes. Get a black shark and then you If I may approach, Your Honor.
You may.
If you
So,
look at that document there.
this witness has been a fun one.
Does that appear to be a true and accurate representation of the document you wrote that day?
Yes.
Okay, is that your signature there at the bottom?
Yes.
At this time, Your Honor, I'd like to tender defense exhibit number 38.
Any objection? No objection. I can see no objection.
And now, if I may approach.
Yes, you may.
Did you recall in this document ever saying that you saw her shoot him outside the car, outside the truck?
That's where she shot him at.
Okay. And you said that she jumped out screaming and punching the victim, correct?
Said she was outside of her car fighting the man at the window.
But in your statement to the police, you said she jumped out of her vehicle.
I said she jumped in front of the victim's vehicle causing an accident.
And then what does it say after that?
She jumped out screaming, punching the victim. She pulled a gun and shot him. She was not even remorseful.
Okay. Now, you stated earlier that you did not see her get out of that Jeep. You only saw her beside the window.
How else would she have gotten to the window if she didn't get out her car?
Ma'am, I'm asking the questions.
Okay.
I'm asking you a yes/no question. Did you see her get out of that Jeep and approach that window?
I don't recall seeing her get out of the Jeep. Once I got to Riverdale Road, she was already there. To my recollection. It's been some years.
But your recollection of the time it occurred when you wrote that statement, you said that she jumped out of the vehicle and ran up to the window and started punching.
I would assume she jumped out of the vehicle. I never said she ran up to the window. I said she jumped out screaming, punching the victim. She pulled out a gun and shot him.
Okay. So that's not a true and accurate statement because you didn't see her get out of the vehicle, correct?
Well, that would be the only way she could get out her vehicle is to get to his window. She had to get out her vehicle to get to his window.
Ma'am, I asked you. That is not a true and accurate statement, what you said, because you did not see her get out of the Jeep and approach the window, correct? There was no answer. There was a commentary without an answer. I don't mind her doing the commentary after she answers yes or no, but she never answered yes or no.
She answered that she did not see her get out of the vehicle. She answered the question.
Okay, I'm going to overrule the objection and allow Attorney Tucker to re-ask the question to the...
So that is not an accurate statement you wrote because you did not see her get out of the Jeep and approach the truck, correct?
It is an accurate statement, but I don't remember seeing her per se get out of the vehicle. But she was at his window, punching and screaming.
How can you say it's an accurate statement when you didn't see her get out of the vehicle?
Because I was there, I saw what happened.
But your testimony said you didn't see her get out of the vehicle.
No, I didn't. I don't remember her getting out of the vehicle, per se.
But you wrote on your document for the police that you did.
Because this was in 2019, it's now 2023. So I really don't recall if I saw her get out of the vehicle. I don't remember every little thing that happened. This was in 2019.
Okay. Now, from that period of time, have you watched the TV media regarding this incident?
No.
Okay. Have you talked to anybody regarding this incident?
No.
You haven't talked to the state?
Well, of course. I thought you meant outside of the state.
Okay, when I say anybody, that would include the state.
Okay, so I have talked to the state.
Okay, and you did have an interview with the detectives too, correct?
That is correct.
Okay, do you recall when those interviews were?
Not too long ago.
Okay. And your statements that you were saying in your interview were different than what you were saying that day, correct?
So they're not different. What I saw is what happened. What I said is what happened.
Okay. And what you said is what happened on that document or what you told to the detectives?
Both.
Both. And there's no doubt in your mind, because it has been 3 or 4 years, correct?
Correct.
There's no doubt in your mind that she pulled the gun and immediately shot from outside the vehicle.
After she yelled for a little bit and screamed and tussled, she pulled the gun out and shot him.
And she was only yelling the MF, right? She wasn't saying any kind of cuss word, she was just yelling you MF?
She was yelling, "Get out of the car, motherfucker."
Okay.
No ifs, ands, or buts about it.
Thank you, Attorney Tucker. Any redirects from the state?
Nothing further from the state, no.
Okay. May this witness be excused at this time?
She may.
Thank you very much.
I was just saying earlier, Tammy, that I really liked this witness. When you said I'd cut out, I really liked this witness. And I liked how another,
Does the
hi,
state intend to call another witness?
hi, another CG.
5 minutes instead of the technology to play to repurpose.
Okay, certainly. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, the state has requested some time to set up the equipment so that we can republish. So I'm going to give you a short break. It is now 10:56. We resume at 10:50.
10:15.
Sorry,
What?
11:50.
I was going to say, wait a minute, it's 11 o'clock. What? what you say now. So yeah, I like that witness for a multitude of reasons. I mean, she's fun, she's sassy, she's knows what she means, and then she means what she says, and all that jazz, right? Um, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, some things are like she says, I don't remember. It's been too long ago. I mean, this happened in 2019 and it's 2023. But then in the same breath, she also does remember all the details. So it's like, which one is it? But I do like her. I would, she was a good one. Some of you guys think she's got an agenda. Now I want them to call her coworker, right? Oh my God. Call her coworker. When they were talking though about the third person or whatever she was saying in her statement, and he was trying to get her to say that it was wrong because she said her, she almost ran her off the road. If she was talking in third person, I could see that. Like if I was writing down a statement and I was like, yeah, my coworker called and she was like, she almost ran her off the road. I mean, I could see how you could like flub that up. I don't know. It anyway. Whether it was her or her coworker, does it really amount to a hill of beans? Another CG. I was gonna say welcome. Hi and welcome. At work watching you, the only one besides Law and Crime streaming this. Oh, really? Wow. Um, Freeze would like to hear from the coworker as well. I wonder what the coworker has to say. Elizabeth says, look, some details can stick out better than others. Just saying. That's true. That's true. I'm having a hard time trying to figure out, like, why. Like, I never did get that quite figured out. Did she said she saw his eyes turn white. Like, I don't know if she meant like they rolled back in his head or what, but she said she saw that. So is that on, like, I don't know. I'm confused. I'm confused. Police reports are typed up by humans, yet witnesses sign them, but I bet they only skim through and don't read every little word. Right. I get that. JC said she really didn't change her testimony too much to me. She did have an attitude, though, but that doesn't mean she has an agenda. That's true. That's true. She did have an attitude. But at the same time, how can you not have an attitude when this lawyer is asking the exact same question 52 different ways? You're right, Mickey. I'm trying the no because it wouldn't be her, it would have been you. Yeah, I get it. I get it. Unless the coworker was saying she ran her off the road talking about her. Never mind. Never mind. Forget it. Forget it. Forget it. But Mickey Joe, the officer typing it up, could have put she, meaning the witness, a simple human error. Yep. Oh, wow, Elizabeth. An exit interview for a job years ago, and they spun my words to imply things I did not imply at all. Yeesh. Tammy says, how can she see that with all the people and commotion going on? I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I guess if you hear the shot and you look straight in the car or the truck, right? You hear a shot and you look straight in the truck. Did she jump out of her truck and run around, or jump out of her car and run to the truck? Because I don't think that you're going to be able to see somebody's eyes unless you're like right there. You know what I mean? I don't know. Um, I don't know if they have her coworker's testimony or not, Mickey. Probably not, because she wasn't actually there. Well, yes, she was. She was on the phone and she was there. She was behind her, right? I mean, did she stop too? Tammy doesn't trust this witness. Oh, what did Lee say? If she was where she testified she was behind his truck. How could she see his eyes? Yeah, I know. I don't know. Unless, like I said, she heard the shot, jumps out, and then runs around. I don't know. Some people are really aware and in tune of their surroundings. I am not one of those people. Oh, looky, Grinch is here. Hey, hey. Saw you in the courtroom, dude. Saw you in the courtroom. It was good to see you. It was very possible to drive on the sidewalk there. Okay. It's hard to see that kind of stuff from the you know what I mean? You're famous now, right? You're all over TV. Wow, look at you. You need to salute us though. Give us some sort of like I mean, we can't see anything right now. I don't know where you're at. All we see is the seal, but um and you snuck in. You kind of snuck in earlier whenever we caught you in the courtroom. I need my chapstick, you guys. My lips are super chapped this morning. Super chapped this morning. Um, Grinch, my question is, hold on, let me read this. Who would just drive on the sidewalk without being instructed by police to do so? Maybe I misunderstood where he was going with that question. That's being pointed out in response to the false imprisonment. Okay. Mickey said one lie or exaggeration, and I'm not believing the person if I'm on the jury. Oh, Mickey's crocheting a possum. Nice. Nice, nice. I'm outside. It's an hour break. Oh, I thought they said be back at 11:10. Or did I miss, they said they were going on lunch? Did I miss that part? I think I may have missed that part. I think the judge may have said, since we're this close to lunch, let's take a lunch. Is that what she said? And I just completely missed it. Okay, said to be back at 11:50. Okay. Worsted weight pattern, but you're using plushy yarn, so he's huge. Oh, cute Mickey Joe. Oh, she said after saying it's 10:56, be back at 11:50. Okay. All right. Well, if that's the case, then I'm going to go ahead and jump out of here. Because kiddo will be home from school soon, and I will start stream part 2 after lunch, or yeah, whenever they start back at 11:50. So we'll do that. You guys can get you some lunch and all that jazz. Wait, what did Lee say? Remember that at the time the gun was in play until the police showed up. No one in their right mind would cross in front or by them, sidewalk or not. Ugh. JC said, I always get stuck with jury duty. I would have believed her because not much of her core testimony changed. We were instructed to look at the core testimony after a long amount of time had passed. Yeah. Yeah, exactly, Elizabeth. You're right. You're right. You're right. Tammy's going to replay what she missed. All right, you guys. I'm going to jump out of here, and I will we'll be back at 11:50 for part 2. So I will see you guys soon. Please give the video a thumbs up. And hi, all the new folks. Would love for you to come back and join us as well. All right. All right, we'll see you back. Bye.